Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hang on just 1 second while I do a little bit of housekeeping here. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Martha. Maplewood, Minnesota. Is that right? Awesome. Let me just paste a few links here. Hey, Francis. You guys, thank you for joining. Hey, Donna. All right, you guys, I'm Jamie Shahan, owner and creator of Teal Lollipops Wreaths. I create beautifully handcrafted wreaths for the holidays and for all the seasons. I love deco mesh. Deco mesh is my favorite, and that's what we're doing tonight. I love whimsical as well as elegant wreaths, but I'm tending to do a lot of whimsical here lately. So what we're going to be doing tonight is a woodland ruffle, and I've just prepared this sign, so it's a little bit tacky still, but I'll flip it over. And it is Santa Stop Here sign. And so we're going to be doing the woodland ruffle. And these are the ribbons that I've chosen. We've got this 1.5 inch, what do you call this? Argyle? Anyway, plaid, something like that. 2.5 inch swirl. And then I've got this 1.5 inch red with green polka dots and 1.5 inch stripe. So that's the ribbon that I've chosen. Oh man, I just pulled that wire out. Once you pull the wire out, you might as well just go ahead and pull it out all the way. There's no getting it back in there. You can, but it's usually outside of the ribbon. All right, so you guys, tell me who you are, where you're from. Are you a maker? Are you a buyer? If there's anything you're hoping that you're going to learn tonight, let me know. If I can teach you, I will. All right, so this is a 15-inch elevated work wreath form that I bought from Craft Outlet. It already has the ties on it. There are 10 ties on the bottom, and there are 8 ties at the top. So that's a total of 18. So the ribbon that I've got, I have 9 pairs of ribbons, which equals 18. And I am doing 1 color of mesh tonight. This is a 10-inch striped mesh, striped on the ends. And I've cut them in 30-inch roll or strips, and we're going to do the woodland ruffle. So I have kind of fallen in love with the woodland ruffle. Gets me away from the 21-inch mesh, and it just seems to be easier to use. I can see myself in the future using nothing but the 10-inch mesh. I like it a lot. Patricia, you live in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Oh, what? I live where Minneapolis and St. Paul were destroyed. Oh, okay. Thank you. Cute sign. Yeah, I love this deco mesh, Cheryl. All right, so woodland ruffle. It is pretty long, a little bit unruly, so take something heavy and hold down the far end. And what you're going to do is you're going to give a couple of curls here. So what you're doing basically is you're taking this raw cut edge and you are folding it under inside the curl, inside the loop. So roll it about 3 or 4 times, clip it, spin it around, roll it 3 or 4 times on this side, get those edges hidden. And so now what you do is you hold this down with your thumbs. I usually use these 2 fingers, I think. I don't know which fingers I use. We'll see. And then you start walking your fingers toward this other edge, and you are creating a ruffle. So I keep my thumbs on my mat so that it doesn't slip out from under, and just walk your fingers. And then just tie it on a tie. And it's that easy. So we're gonna do the top row. So we have 8 to do. So 1, 2, 3. Clip it, spin it around. So I'm looking at the video, and this mesh looks gold, but it's actually green. So is it coming across as green to you guys, or does it look gold? So we're going to go to the next tie. And as you're tying these next to each other, pull these edges up to where one is not buried underneath the other. Pull it up to where they're both pointing toward the ceiling. So a couple of rolls, clip it. It does look gold, doesn't it? It's green. It's lime green. I thought it looked gold on that screen. Thank you, Cheryl. Y'all, I've been busy today. So I challenged myself to make 20 wreaths by November. And today, and they don't have to be wreaths like this. They can be anything. And so if you watched the tutorial last night, I told you a little trick or a little business tip was in order to get your numbers up in your Etsy shop, you can buy pre-made wreaths that need a little zhuzhing. Add a bow to it, add a sign, and so that's what I did. I made 6 wreaths today that were pre-made flocked wreaths that I got from At Home, and I added big fat bows on 4 of them and a sign on 1 of them. A sign and a bow on 1 of them. Yeah, it does look gold. So I have those 6, and I have 1, 2, 3, and after tonight I'll have 4 deco mesh wreaths that I've made. So I'll have 10 Christmas wreaths that I'll need to list. I've got a bunch of signs coming in to make some more Christmas wreaths. So I'm really and truly hoping to have 35 Christmas wreaths in my shop, which is a lot for me. I mean, I only have like 68, 70 products in my shop right now. I sold a lantern swag and a bow today, so people are buying for sure. I'm pretty tired after today. I've been standing on my feet all day out in my little laundry room slash butler's pantry slash office slash craft room. It's a jack of all trades room, but I've been standing up all day long making those wreaths. And not to mention, I've got a new puppy, a new Labrador puppy. Her name is Bella. And Bella has learned to get up at 4:30 in the morning, which is usually the time I get up when I have to go to work. And so her internal clock now says that she needs to get her little bottom up at 4:30 in the morning. Well, I didn't want to get up at 4:30 in the morning, but guess who had to get up? Uh-oh, I've lost my, there it is. This gal, she had to get up at 4:30. So what kind of church, Patricia? I mean, the sky's the limit, really. You could do anything. And are you wanting something for what area in the church would you want to place this wreath if you made one? The front doors as people are coming in. It's a black lab, and she is so smart. I've never had a dog this smart before. She's 12 weeks. Is she 12 weeks? 6? Yeah, she's about 12 weeks now, 11 or 12. And she's going to the door barking when she needs to go out and go potty. She's not pee-peeing or poo-pooing on her potty pads at night. When it's time to go to bed, she knows it. 8:30, by golly, she's up the stairs and headed to the bedroom. Doors going into the sanctuary, Lutheran church. So I think what I would do in that situation, Patricia, is I would look at the interior of that church, and I would try to match it. Not matchy-matchy, not too matchy-matchy. But I would also do something classy. You can do deco mesh, but I would make sure that it's classy, not whimsical. You don't even necessarily have to have a sign unless you want to. You could do a sign. But I would just make it really classy and really pretty. All right, so these are, this is the ribbon that I showed you a minute ago. It is cut in 12-inch strips, and it is dovetailed. I mean, I've always loved Jesus is the reason for this season. I've loved that since it came out, 10, 15 years ago, however, long ago. So, what I mean by classy is I wouldn't do, like Santa Claus and a sleigh. I wouldn't do reindeer. I would do, like a manger scene on a sign if I wanted to do a sign. Jesus is the reason for the season, I think, is an awesome sign. I would do something maybe with angels. So what I'm doing is I'm laying the 1.5 inch on top of the 2.5 inch, just eyeballing it, find the center, and then scrunch it in the center, fold it in a V formation, and then curl that ribbon like bird wings. And then I'm alternating and going directly to the ties where I've tied in the mesh. And then what I've started to do is I've started to pull this down, pull the 2.5 inch down, and pull the 1.5 inch almost straight across. I saw somebody do that on a video, and I'm kind of liking it. So that's what I've been doing lately. I mean, I think everybody needs to be reminded that Jesus is the reason for this season. It's not all the shopping, and while all that's fun, and we like to show our family that we love them, and buy them treats, spoil those grandbabies. I've never had a Labrador before, Patricia. This is our first one, and we are actually overrun with dogs. There's no reason why I should have got this dog, but I couldn't resist. I have a coworker who had the puppies, and I couldn't resist. But my grown son and his wife and my grandson are living here with me, and they've got 2 dogs, and I have one adopted dog, one dog that I inherited when my father-in-law passed away, and I've got a boxer, and I've got a Boston Terrier. So, I mean, I've got like a whole kennel's worth of dogs. I did not need to feed another mouth, but I couldn't help it. Well, good. I'm hoping she's going to be the perfect dog. So far, she is. She's adorable. Ouch. Something just poked me. All right, we're getting there. So I'm going to try to come on live every time I do a wreath. But if I batch make a bunch of wreaths, I probably won't come on live then. Do y'all know what batch making is? So for any makers out there, the most wreaths that I made in a 48-hour period were 7 wreaths. And I made the 7 wreaths by batch making them, batch working them. And when you batch work, takes a little bit of planning ahead. But I had just gotten a shipment in, so I had all my signs, all my deco mesh, all of my ribbon. I had everything I needed to make a bunch of wreaths. And so what you do is on your first day, you choose what you're going to do on your first day. So my first day, what I did was, I made a connection with Bella. So on my first day, what I did was I covered all of my wreath forms with mesh. And what I did was 21-inch mesh, and then I did curls. And then I cut all the ribbon. Cut out all the ribbon for all 7 wreaths. That's what I did on the first day. And then the second day, I came back. Oh, and on the first day, no, I didn't. On the second day, I came back and I attached all the ribbons and prepared and attached all the signs. And so in 2 days, and I didn't do any embellishments back then. I do embellishments now, but I didn't really do much back then. And so in 2 days, I had 7 wreaths made. My fingers were a little sore, but I had 7 wreaths made in my shop, and it was pretty awesome. So I need to do that again. So if I decide to do that, I probably won't come live. I'll just get them done, get them listed. All right, we're going to jump up here to the top. Just choose anywhere to start. I try to choose somewhere that's offset and closer to the opposite of the ribbon, but that you can't always do that. So just do the best you can. It all gets covered up and you can't tell in the end. So I live in Arkansas, you guys, for those of you who don't know. For those of you who can't tell by my accent. And we are notorious in Arkansas for one day being cold and the next day being hot. You never know what you're going to get when you're in Arkansas. And yesterday it was a little cold, and we had the heater going upstairs, discovered that my heater wasn't working downstairs. Today it's 80 degrees, y'all. My air conditioner's back on today. I'm sweating bullets. It's crazy. But that's Arkansas. So no, the wreaths were not all the same. Every wreath was different. Every single one of them. So I had, and I didn't even duplicate the mesh. I had 7 different kinds of mesh, 7 different signs. So 7 different, so there's 4 ribbons for each wreath. So I had 28 different ribbon sets, or 28 different ribbons. It was quite an undertaking. It was definitely, it's just an assembly line is all it is. An assembly line for one person. But if you want to get some stuff done and you need to get it done quick, that's the way to do it. Because if you think about it, that's the most, I don't know if economical is the right word. It's not economical in money sense, but economical in time. Because you're handling your scissors once. You're handling your roller blade once. You're handling your glue gun to prepare your signs once. Once you're done with that part of it, you're putting all your mesh away, and then you're putting all your ribbon away. So on one of those days, I don't remember which, it was probably the second day, I made all of the bows as well. All right, last one, and then we'll make a bow. This is going to be cute. Cute, cute. I do love the woodland ruffle, you guys. That is so cute. All right, let's make a bow. So I use a bow dabra. Let's get the ribbon out. Ouch. Okay. So this is the ribbon that I've used in the wreath. So what I like to do, what I found that works best for me, is I take the stiffest ribbon. If I have ribbon that is flimsy, you don't want to put that on bottom. You want something firm underneath to have some support for your bow. So I'm going to take the firmest ribbon that I have here, which is this one. And I'll do both of the 2.5 inches. I'll lay them down first, and then I'll lay down the 1.5 inch. You ordered your, Joanne, you ordered your, oh, did you order pre-made wreaths, Joanne? I mean, Cheryl? You ordered them from Joanne's. It is a productive idea, and it works great. $23, if you're talking about, Cheryl, if you're talking about $23 for a pre-made wreath, that is a great deal. All right, so I went ahead and dovetailed it. I like long tails, so I'm probably going to, I'll probably do, I don't know, I think I'll do 14-inch tails. I'm going to probably put this ribbon, this bow at the bottom. Yes, pre-made. Awesome. What kind of wreaths were they? Were they evergreen? Some sort of evergreen or what? So I'm going to do 5-inch loops. So I've got my bow dabber on this mat, and the mat is marked off in inches. And so I've just got the center of my bow dabber at the 10, and that's how I'm measuring my loops. And so I'll go to the 5. This is single-sided ribbon, so you have to flip it in the center at the gathering point so that the ugly side ends up on the inside of your loop and not facing outward. Most ribbon is single-sided ribbon. Occasionally you will find something that is double-sided, and usually I end up twisting those anyway because I forget. I'm so used to just twisting it. So I'm going to do 4 loops. And I'm just going to measure off of this tail here. Cut it just a little bit longer. I think it's prettier when your tails are just a little bit different, a little bit offset, not, you know, exactly the same. All right, now we're going to go to the next 1.5 or 2.5 inch. This ribbon is really cute. It's got a fringed edge, and then the white stripe is shiny and glittery. Some evergreen, some grapevine, and even a swag. All flowers, greenery already. Yes, yes, way to go. So I ordered some, I won't be putting them out until spring, but at the end of the summer, I ordered some lemon wreaths from, Greenery Market. And they were a really good price. So I'm going to take those next summer and add to it and then put those in my shop. And also, you can look on Etsy. I found a couple on Etsy. You can also take, I'm giving away all my secrets, y'all. You can also take 2 inexpensive wreaths and put them together to make one wreath. And I actually have one here in the room, and I'll show it to you. I got these from Hobby Lobby, and you'll probably recognize them when you see them. Let me get this done, and then I'll walk around here and get it and show it to you. I love this striped ribbon. It's awesome. All right, so let me show you this real quick. Hang on. Okay, so I'm sure you probably recognize this from Hobby Lobby. And so what I did was I took this and put it with this wreath here, and I made that. I got it at 40% off, and it ends up being a smaller wreath or a candle ring. But I have like 8 of these. And I think it's gorgeous. So you can also take 2 inexpensive wreaths and put them together. And where I was going with that was Etsy has some fruit wreaths, and they're only like $12 a piece. All right, here we go. So I think I want this to be the outside, so we're gonna do this ribbon here. All right, Patricia, you went to the Dollar Tree to buy some 14-inch wire wreath forms and they didn't have, so I went online and can't find any to order. I've never used pipe cleaners or that wreath form, but now they don't have. Anyone know what's going on? So, what's going on, you mean at the Dollar Tree? Or anywhere? Did you go to Craft Outlet? Craft Outlet, Deco Exchange, Sims. I would check out Etsy just to see what kind of shops. Greenery Market. Thank you, Patricia. But you do whatever you need to do to get your numbers up in your shop. All right, one more. I've done 4 loops on each of these. I used to do 2 loops for this last one, and sometimes I still do, but I really like 4 loops. I like 4 loops on everything. I feel like all I've been doing today is making bows, and that is essentially what I've been doing. Yes, I have done that. So I actually went to the Dollar Tree after Easter last year, and I bought about 20 or so of the forms. And yeah, I've done that. Are you asking me, do I know how to put the pipe cleaners on there? Is that what you're asking me? Because if that's what you're asking me, I can show you how to do that too. And if I can't get a hold of wreath forms because I'm running out, I'm going to have to use those, and I might as well just do a video about it. All right, so what I did was I ran my zip tie. I lifted this up out of the cradle just a little bit, put my zip tie underneath it, and zip tied it very loosely. It's not tight yet. So hold your loops and pull your tails down. Hold these loops and pull these tails down. Okay, now, this is where I even out my loops. If one loop is shorter than the other, when you put your fingers in here and pull, they're going to even out. So this one in the back is longer. So I'm going to grab this tail and pull it. And now they're even. Okay, now I'm just going to flip this zip tie to the back. So I'm going to slide a pipe cleaner underneath there. So I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to just push this down to create some space to slide this in here. I'm just going to check these loops and make sure nothing is really folded in on itself or curled in on itself. Okay, now just tighten it down. Clip that off. All right, so now we're going to fluff out these loops. So I've started just kind of pulling these, leaving them flat and kind of pulling them into a position that I like instead of, and then kind of just fluffing them out. I was just putting my hands in them like this and just twisting them, but that bottom row is kind of getting all out of whack. So I've been starting with the bottom row, just pulling them flat out and getting them in a position that I want them, and then fluffing them up. But whatever works for you. Some people use a fluff box. I used to use a fluff box. Oh, thank you. I think the ribbon's going to turn out really cute. I was a little concerned about this ribbon, but I think it's going to work just fine. So they do work well for making a wreath. By the time you get them loaded down with everything, you can't tell that it's a dollar store, a Dollar Tree wreath form. You just can't tell. The only difference is that they're not as elevated, and so sometimes that's good. You've got people who have storm doors, and they're really good for making flat wreaths, for storm door wreaths. All right, so there's our bow. But I think they work fine. I just don't like having to put the ties on there. But there is a trick to putting the ties on there, so you don't have to measure it out or anything. You just have to know that little trick. And I'll show y'all sometime. Okay, so let's get our wreath back. There seems to be a trick for everything, doesn't there? And all of these tricks I have learned by being in a business group or a design group. Okay, so I put some pipe cleaners on the back of this sign and I glued it in place. So I think for now I'm just going to leave this wire. We'll see. I'm going to thread these pipe cleaners down through my wreath to the base and wire this sign to the base. This is a little bit of a heavy sign, so I'm going to have to, if these two pipe cleaners don't keep it from sagging, I may have to come back and put more in there, but we'll see. I'll flip this over. There's my Bella. I'm recording. My puppies just came in. All right, we'll tie this down here. Yeah, I may have to add another tie down here somewhere. But for now, we'll leave it. Just for the video, we'll proceed. Get my ribbons out from under this. Okay, now we're gonna do the bow. I'm going to put the bow. I love a long tail bow. I love a long tail bow at the bottom of a wreath. Love it. Matter of fact, if you go to my Etsy shop, you will see that I've got a lot of long tail bows with them, with wreaths with long tail bows in this position down here at the bottom. As a matter of fact, the batch work that I did that we were talking about a minute ago, those were all long tail bows, and you can probably go through that and find summer wreaths and see all of the long tail bows in the summer wreath section, and those are the ones that I batch worked. Hey, Amy. Oh, they've gone to bed now, Patricia. My husband pulled them out of the room and shut the door, so they're going to bed. All right, I'm going to flip this over for just a second. All right, let's tie this off here. I'm just going to loosely tie this. I say this every time. Once you start putting your accessories on your wreath, sometimes you want to change things up. And so you don't want to make anything permanent just yet. This is cute. Cute, cute, cute. Yeah, this sign is definitely going to have reinforcements. All right. That's pretty much it, you guys. I don't have any accessories to show you, but I'll probably put some ornaments on there. Whatever I can find. I don't know. You know, green and red. I'm sure there's lots of stuff out there that I can find. You should show some of the backs of your finished ones. Yeah. So do you guys, I don't know if you know, on the back of all of my wreaths, I finished them off with a placemat. So for the back of this one, I will more than likely take a red placemat and flip it over, and once I've got everything in place, and I will attach it with zip ties. Hey, Michelle, thank you. Can't wait to see you at deer camp. For all you ladies out there who don't know, I go to deer camp, and Michelle, who just joined, she has been a longtime friend of mine, and we kind of go hang out by the fire while the guys go and hunt. Thank you, Cheryl. All right, guys, so I will finish this off probably with a red placemat on the back, zip tied in place, and that will be after I get all of my embellishments in place, everything glued on, and make sure there's not anything sticking out crazy. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Jamie Shahan. My shop is Teal Lollipops Wreaths on Etsy, and my YouTube channel is Teal Lollipops. And I've put all of that in the comments. You guys, thank you for sharing this video. I appreciate it. Hey, Joanne. We're just finishing up, but thank you for joining. Joanne is in my business group. Sweet, sweet lady, starting a business of her own in her hometown where she's going to create a venue for people in her town to have weddings and do crafts and just all kinds of stuff. And I can't wait till it's done. I can't wait to see it, Joanne. But thank you guys. You guys are an inspiration to me. I love teaching this stuff. And if you guys have any questions at all, just DM me. I'll be happy to answer. If you have any business questions, I'm not tech savvy, but I sure do know what I've gone through this past year to try to get started, and it's fresh in my mind, the mistakes I've made and the wins that I've had, and I'll be more than happy to share that with all you guys. So you guys, thank you so much, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.